We can stop HIV, Iowa.
And it all starts with health equity.
Health equity means that everyone has a fair and just opportunity to be healthy.
To achieve this, we need to remove obstacles to good health.
Poverty and discrimination support an environment in which HIV thrives.
We must work together so that all Iowans have access to the resources they need to prevent, diagnose, and to treat HIV.
Visit StopHIVIowa.org. Hey guys, welcome to episode 31 of Three Terrible Gamers. I'm here with Colin.
Hey guys.
So, first couple topics of the day are from last week, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Microsoft signs 2 more 10-year deals.
Good for them. It was Boosteroid and Ubitus cloud services. So I guess they were trying to really vamp up their cloud gaming services to go on with the Game Pass, I'm assuming at this point. But Ubitus is mostly known for its work on helping developers bring titles to the Switch via cloud gaming. And those games were Hitman 3, Resident Evil 7, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And Boosteroid just hit 4 million global users as of last week. And it is a Ukraine-based company.
Okay. Yeah. So Microsoft is basically handing out deals right now. It's like, hey, you want a deal?
I'll take a deal.
I'll take a deal. No, they're just signing out deals just to try to, win over the regulators. And like Colin said, Boosteroid, it's kind of like GeForce Now, if any of you guys listening has ever played it. It's just a completely cloud-based, browser-based gaming platform, basically. You play games, you can play Fortnite, other free games on there. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. And Ubisoft, like Colin said, they bring cloud games over to the Switch to be able to play on there. A lot of people don't like cloud games because it relies on Wi-Fi to play the game, so it can vary on, visuals and just quality in general, running speed and everything. So, but if that's the only way to bring the title over to the Switch, then that's what they have to do, since the Switch is very aging console at this point. But Microsoft, back to them, they're just, like I said, handing out anything they can to anybody to win this deal over to their side. So, and I'm hoping that it'll go through soon, which we may have an extra topic on that later today if we get to it.
Sounds a different one than mine, if need be. But trying to think. But yeah, Boosteroid is definitely seems like the best thing for Microsoft in this deal. Like I said, the or Ubisoft is, my opinion, is the better one out of the two for it, because Boosteroid is just, like I said, there wasn't really nothing back on them other than them just be a cloud gaming company, and it was Ukraine based, and they got 4 million users. So I mean, that's 4 million users that could go over to Microsoft if they don't already have a Microsoft account.
Right. So do you think that's what Microsoft will use, is Ubisoft, to bring Call of Duty to the Switch, or do you think they're going to try to do it natively and just cut out a lot of things from it?
Well, that deal still hasn't gone through. I think they'll use, I don't know, I'll say they'll be greedy and use them to bring it to PlayStation.
You think so?
They say, screw PlayStation, we're not even going to give them the real thing. We're going to make them do it cloud, since they're giving so much issues with this deal.
They should do that, but that's not how Microsoft is. And
No.
Sony would do that. Sony would do that right now.
Oh, yeah. And Sony deserves it, but
They do.
It is what it is. But yeah, I say they'll use them to at least get it out to the Switch just for, like you said, them being behind on the generations.
Yeah, if it was earlier in the generation, I would think that they would try to do it natively, just because they did do it, like say on the Wii when it was
Hmm.
on the 360 and the PS3, they brought Black Ops to the Wii, and that was a basically a GameCube on terms of power, so it's possible to do. I mean, I know the visuals are way better now, but it is possible to do. But I think they'll use the cloud just to keep their promise on bringing it to the Switch. And then when Nintendo comes out with their next generation console, we'll get a native port.
Yeah.
All right. So continuing with Microsoft and then add Sony into it. When Microsoft and Sony went to court, I believe it's been a couple weeks, maybe even a month at this point, but Microsoft said that Sony is making a Superman game.
I mean, there hasn't really been a successful uh, Superman game that hasn't been a fighting game since Superman 64. But yet, if I'm not mistaken, that game was extremely broken even back then. Like, I think that's like one of the worst games of all times.
Yeah.
Which, to me, only way you could really, with all the movies that are out now since the 64 release of Superman, you would really have to almost make an M-rated title for it to be anywhere interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, like I said, it's because basically the only thing Superman 64 was a flying simulator.
Yeah,
'Cause if I'm not mistaken, the only thing you'd done was fly through rings.
I believe so. Best I
Which I
can remember.
Yeah, but at the time, obviously, that was a huge improvement, especially it being 3D graphics,
Right.
which now I would expect a whole lot more out of it. But yeah, if Sony's doing it, I don't know how they necessarily have just straight licensing to DC games, though. Like I said, I understand they bought, Spider-Man stuff, but you never see uh, anything Warner Brothers because that's who owns DC. You don't ever see Sony in the pictures on those ones.
Right.
So unless they collaborated with Warner Brothers to get the DC title.
So they may be actually coming out with a Superman game, but I think it was a mistake on the lawyer side for Microsoft because in the debate for Activision, the lawyer was saying that the big name first party releases for Sony, so like he named off God of War and then Superman. So I think he meant Spider-Man,
That's possible too.
but maybe they might be making a new game, but I'm kind of on the side that they meant Spider-Man. So I guess we'll see if Sony will release or announce a Superman game, but I think they're just talking about Spider-Man because Spider-Man 2 does come out later this year. So, and God of War just came out recently, so they're trying to name the next two big or recently two big games that Sony has.
Yeah, I mean, a Superman game would be pretty cool to see, but yeah, your logic behind it definitely makes more sense than a Superman title being released.
Yeah, I mean Superman title would be cool, but really what are you really going to do in the game that really hasn't already been done in games? I mean, I guess they could come up with fresh ideas, but me personally, I just can't think of anything that they could do, like just fly around and fight off bad guys.
You say basically make it a hack and slash.
Yeah, you
At
could.
that point, pretty much competing against your own God of War franchise.
Yeah, that would make sense, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if this is Superman or Spider-Man.
Yeah. But like I said, at the end of the day, they would have to make it M-rated just to be anywhat entertaining.
Right. And like you touched on, I don't see Warner Brothers giving up their IP Superman. If somebody's going to make a Superman game, it's going to be Warner Brothers, and they're not just going to make it exclusive to PlayStation.
Nah, they would go everywhere like they have in the past with DC versus Mortal Kombat, the whole nine yards.
Multiverses, it's on everything but Switch.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, pretty much all Warner Bros. Characters,
Yeah,
as we discussed before, way back
right.
when.
Yeah, a couple times, I think. All right, moving on. Resident Evil 4 remake rating.
All right, as you know, I got both the original and the remake, but the remake is at a 93 meta, 92 open, and 9 out of 10 on Steam. So it has gone down since the original release. But granted, the original release didn't have any of the uh, original. There's no same company if it's rated these games.
Right, right.
So the original was perfect across the board on the ones it was rated on, which was Common Sense Media and 10 out of 10 on IGN. And it was 5 out of 5 on Common Media and 10 out of 10 on IGN. So it was supposedly a perfect game back on the GameCube, which, I mean, it was a good game.
It was.
But yeah, it's now meta and open pretty much run the ranks on everything now. So, and they are a little bit tougher than the IGN and Commons Media. Like the Commons Media to me is pretty much like the 9 out of 10 like doctor's ratings or dentist ratings that you would see. Like, oh yeah, 9 out of 10 dentists approve his toothpaste.
Right.
Not all 10,
Just
but
9.
just 9. That one dentist is like, nah, you don't need toothpaste.
Right. Just use water.
Right?
Yeah, like you said, 93 for the remake and 96 for the original. And I played the original on the GameCube before. I mean, when it was a GameCube exclusive. Eventually, they did bring it over to the PS2 and other consoles, but it did start out as GameCube exclusive, surprisingly, being what
Yeah.
it is.
And it was an M-rated game at the
Right.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So,
it still is an M-rated game, but still.
yeah. Yeah. Surprising for Nintendo, but um yeah, it's a really good game. Definitely a must play. It's my favorite Resident Evil game out of all of them. Did you have it back in the day?
No, actually, I never played it until, like I said, I mentioned the story before. I was at Robert's house.
Oh, right, right, right. Yep. So I didn't have it as like a kid, but I did have it as like a teenager, and I played it as an adult as well. But yeah, definitely a good game. Must play if any of you have not played it, definitely pick it up and play it.
I could get away with M-rated hack and slash games. I couldn't get around with M-rated shooting games, as you
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah, makes no sense. M ratings, M rating.
That's right. 17 plus
And
is 17 plus.
and they both show a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So this past week, um, Tears of the Kingdom won most anticipated game of the year, and the series director, and I forget his first name anyway, Aonuma, he went and collected the award, and he had some things to say about Tears of the Kingdom. That,
I think the quote from it was the players free are, and it was a bad translation in between English and Japanese.
yeah,
So why you're going to see, well, hear sloppy English unless you are watching this. Uh, the players' free imagination will be filled with new gameplay that will bring about changes to the game world. So it's going to be a familiar setting with something completely different, is what it sounded like just from that quote alone.
right, yeah. So basically, a lot of people were concerned that it'll be the exact same Hyrule because it's the same engine as Breath of the Wild, so we're going to know where everything is, which is kind of true. We will know where everything is,
Kind of the
But
case with every Zelda game, though, that's based in Hyrule.
right, yeah, they're
Like
all basically
you
lined
always
up.
got, you always got Death Mountain in the top right. You always got Gerudo in the bottom left. It's that's pretty much a pretty straightforward map. Even in Wind Waker, it was still pretty much laid out like that. If you imagine like Dragon Roost being Death Mountain and stuff.
Right, yeah, yeah, that's true. But a lot of people are concerned that it's just going to be boring. It's going to be the exact same thing. But basically, what Anuma said is what you do in the game will affect the world around you. So everybody's world may be different depending on what you do. So that's kind of interesting to think about.
Do you think there'll be alternate endings?
I think so, because there was a couple in Breath of the Wild, the best I can remember. There was a couple alternate endings, I
Was there?
believe. I think so. I think
I think it was just Link's Awakening had one recently. I don't think
that might have
I
been what I'm thinking about, but I think Breath of the Wild did have a couple, depending on if you beat the Divine Beast, or maybe I'm thinking about the final battle with the. I know the final battle is different, but I'm thinking the ending was different as well, but it may not
no,
be.
I know the final battle was different because if you beat all the Divine Beasts, you start out with half the life, while if you
Right.
didn't, he was full health.
And you still had to beat the Blight Ganons.
If you did, yeah, whatever champion you didn't beat originally. So
Yeah.
if you went in there right away, you would have to face all four, then face him. But
Yeah.
if you beat three of them, you would only have to face one. It's whichever one you didn't fight.
Right.
Initial
So you'd
thing.
have to fight the Blight Ganon or any of them you didn't fight, then Calamity Ganon, and then Dark Beast Ganon.
Yeah. Which Dark Beast Ganon is a joke. It was literally
It was so easy.
yeah.
You just ride around and feel it's really easy.
I
Spoiler,
mean
I'm sure you guys know, but
really by the end of the game, Calamity wasn't really even that hard.
I mean, it probably, I mean, I know it would be if you just talk to the king and then march right into Hyrule Castle and fight Ganon, but where we played the game and got the DLCs, I mean, it wasn't hard.
I bought the DLCs after I beat it.
Oh, yeah, but you still played the game a lot.
Yeah, but anyway, well, even with the Master Sword, it's still anytime you're in Hyrule Castle, your Master Sword automatically goes up to
60.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, whether you have DLCs or not. But
And it
like
don't
even if you have the DLCs, you get the Champion's Abilities Plus,
yeah.
which helps out too.
hmm So yeah, I mean, I beat Calamity Ganon in every way. I attacked him. I just straight parry attacks, or yeah, parrying, killed him, and then done the whole entire. Trying to think, the Furry Rush.
Yeah.
So I beat him in every way possible. And I never did get a different ending.
Yeah, but I think there is different endings. It might be Link's Awakening I'm thinking of, but anyway, I think there will be alternate endings in Tears of the Kingdom just because of the change of world around you.
Better
So,
be for that extra $10.
huh?
Better be for that extra $10.
Oh yeah. I think we're gonna get a lot more content for that extra $10 than was Breath of the Wild. Because like I said before, is a Switch game from the ground up. The other one was a Wii U game, so it better be more content.
That's right.
We can stop HIV, Iowa.
A person living with and being treated for HIV can take one pill a day to protect their own health and prevent HIV from passing to sexual partners.
We call it U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmittable.
Visit stopHIViowa.org.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgranger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
All right. 2K is making a Lego game.
Help us all. Uh, no, I think it's going to be called Lego Drive. It was pretty much just a Lego racer. They're not doing anything crazy like how Lego games have been doing with different movies and characters. So it literally just seems like you build your own race car and you just drive around, race, and do all other stuff. So I pretty much just looked at it like a kid's version of like Forza.
basically. Yeah. So a lot of people, when this was leaked and not announced, they were saying it's like a Lego Mario Kart. You'll have your own power ups or whatever that you just fight against other people. But when 2K actually announced it, they're saying no, it's a Lego AAA adventure game. So basically, what I got out of that is a Lego version of Forza Horizon. So you build your own car and then get to ride around the world, which is kind of cool. You get to build your own and then ride around instead of getting to pick through different ones. Like in Forza, you had to pick from different ones and then ride around on those. But the game releases on May 19th, so not not a long stretch from announcement to release on this game.
Do you think they'll slowly switch to 2K for future titles, or do you think they're just using 2K because they got more experience in, I'm saying, more of an open world aspect?
I don't know. Why are you hoping for a Lego NBA 2K game?
No, that's not what I'm hoping for at all. But I'm just saying, in general, it makes no sense why Lego wouldn't stick to what they was doing, and they didn't need 2K to accomplish this.
I have no clue why they're picking 2K because 2K makes no sense when it comes to Lego games. And it makes
No,
no sense when it comes to racing games. They're not known for
exactly.
their racing games. They're known for their pretty much sport
I
games.
mean,
They've made
technically,
other games too.
I guess that's technically the fine line because I mean, I know come down to it, racing is considered a sport, but in the video game world, it's not technically a sports game.
No, it is a sport, but it's not what 2K's used to making.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying. They
mean,
could have
they've
chose.
made
They could have
football
what they was
before,
doing.
but right now they're doing WWE and basketball pretty much every year. That's the only games they're really concerned about. I mean, they have made other games not sports related, but it's been few and far in between, and it's been a while.
They're doing golf too, aren't they? I think they have their hands in golf as
PG,
well. I think
did
it
they
is
make?
PGA Tour. It's over.
Is it PGA Tour, 2K
I
PGA
think so.
Tour or something
But
like
they're
that?
not. They're not PGA anymore.
I think.
I think they.
I mean, which I know the NFL signed a long term deal for Madden, but I think 2K it Madden would be better if 2K was still allowed to make NFL games because there'd be competition there.
Yeah, just like how there is with the basketball.
Yeah. I mean, 2K put NBA Live pretty much out of business, so that's why we get kind of the same 2K game every year with a little bit of change,
Yeah.
lack of competition.
Which I mean, NBA Live has existed. It's just not been as talked about.
And there's really not. I played the last NBA Live I played, which I know, I mean, we used to play NBA Live more when we played 2K, but
Yeah.
just the last NBA Live I played, it was NBA
Yeah.
Live. It was NBA Live 14, and it was not good at all. Like the players, graphics, the animations were not. It wasn't realistic. Like the shooting, like how they actually shoot. 2K has that down. Like they actually have the players in there the way they shoot. NBA Live, it wasn't realistic at all.
Yeah. I never played NBA Live 14. That's the one I never downloaded on the Xbox because the internet sucked.
Well, you didn't miss out on much.
Yeah. 14, well, 2K14 downloaded, but NBA Live did not want to work.
2K14 was really good. Made me
I agree.
sad. It was the
Me too.
last one with Ray Allen on an actual team.
Yeah. Not the historic teams.
Sad. Before I start crying, let's move on. All right. Crash Team Rumble has a release date.
June 20th of 2023. That date is also West Virginia Day for all you West Virginia people.
Right. We were founded on that day a long, long time ago. 1863.
That's
I remember
correct.
that year. That was a good year.
Yeah.
No, but
Uh,
basically, Crash Team Rumble, it's kind of a weird take on Crash. It's a kind of a mix between Smash Bros. And Multiverses, but instead of just staying 2D side, on the side, you kind of go 3D and fight, and it's weird. But the developer of it is Toys for Bob, which made the Spyro Reignited trilogy, and I believe Crash's trilogy as well. And I know they made Crash 4, but instead of making Crash Team Rumble, why don't they make Spyro 4? That's what I'd really like to see, is another Spyro game.
yeah, that would be nice. But Crash is more their bread and butter than Spyro is at this point.
Yeah, so I know they made Crash 4 a couple years ago, but do you think with Microsoft, if the Microsoft deal does go through and Microsoft acquires Activision, do you think Microsoft will have them work on a Spyro 4?
I said they would, just because obviously the fan base is still out there. But
Yeah.
at the same time, and the deal still has to go through for that to even be a reality.
Right. I'm not going to say my extra topic about that, but
Are you sure
it's a
you don't
good,
want to? It's
it's a good,
related.
it is real. All right. So you talked me into it. It's so basically today, after I sent the topics out, it was actually just a couple hours ago. There was the UK regulators they're one of the ones that can block the deal from going through for, competition reasons between gaming companies. So they were pretty much the biggest one that would deny the deal from going through. And so they said a couple hours ago, they released a statement that they believe Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard will not hurt or change the gaming competition, which is a big plus for Microsoft. They're not the only regulator that they have to win over, but if they win them over, most likely the other ones will just fall in place
Oh yeah,
behind
I
them.
mean that's what everyone's been thinking except for Sony.
Right,
Sony is literally the only people that are against this thing. Literally everyone else is just like, it's literally what you're doing to Xbox right now.
right. It's just the other way around. That's why Sony's so against them. It's just basically Sony owns Call of Duty right now, but they don't. It's but
Yeah,
this
their contract is ending. That's why they're up for grabs.
right. So basically, this regulator saying this is a big thing for Microsoft for that deal to go through. So in the next couple weeks, I'd look for the other regulators to just be falling in place behind them, and then this deal will go through.
Right? Just keep on listening to us to figure it out.
That's right.
We'll keep
All
you
right.
updated away.
This last topic is pretty cool. Uh, so there was a rumor, or well, it's basically a confirmation, but came out this week. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle: The Last Ronin game is being developed.
All right. It definitely seems it's like more on the mature side. Whether it gets an M or T rating is still up for debate. I don't think it'll get the standard E or E10 plus that you would normally see in a Ninja Turtle game.
I'd
And it
say
looks,
T for what it is.
you say a T?
Yeah, for it still being a Ninja Turtle game, I don't think they'll go all the way to M, but it's definitely not for everyone or everyone 10 and up.
Yeah. I mean, it is, even the company was just like, yeah, it's going to be more mature based because it is based off the graphic novels opposed to the kids side of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So graphic novels are usually,
Graphic?
yeah, but like I'm trying to think, like The Walking Dead is a graphic novel. It was a comic book,
Right.
originally type of situation. So usually graphic novels are more graphic than, I mean, I know graphic is the meaning for drawing.
I know. That's why I kind of had a joke there. It was
Yeah, I know your joke, but I'm just still in the explanation. part of it. I completely agree with it. It's going to be more graphic than normal. So, but yeah, I'm with you. I think it's going to get a T, but to see an M-rated Ninja Turtles game, just like anything else that's, us growing up related, would still be awesome to see.
That would be cool. Yeah, so this was announced a couple of days ago. And if you guys have never heard of this, it's a series of comics that was turned into a graphic novel a while ago. And I think it's only like $20 on Amazon if you want to pick it up for the actual story. But basically,
On our affiliate.
yeah, I'll put it in there for this episode. But yeah, basically, it's a it's a story about one last surviving turtle after the other three and Master Splinter were killed by the Foot Clan. Basically, sorry, spoilers. But anyway, um,
Too late.
you're gonna find out anyway. But anyway, and you don't know until further into the story which turtle you're playing as, which one survived because they don't have the colored, mask or anything on, and they use the different weapons of the others. So it's really, really cool and a very different spin on a kids' TV show that we grew up watching.
I think it'll be Raphael.
You think so?
He's the baddest turtle there is on the thing.
That's true, but I was thinking it would be one that you wouldn't expect it to be, like probably Donatello.
Yeah, I can agree with that too, because he's the smartest one.
Yeah. So I really, and Michelangelo, he was the first one to die. I'm sorry, but he's an idiot. But yeah, I might pick up the graphic novel just, ahead of the game. I don't read, but it's a graphic novel. I can look at the pictures. But
Right?
yeah, I never heard of it until this report came out. But I will pick up this game. It's really cool. I'd love to find out which one it is.
I had heard about the graphic novel. The game was definitely a new step for me.
Yeah, I mean, the game's definitely a ways out if it's just now being developed, and especially if it's going to be developed for next generation, which I'm sure it is. It'll be probably minimum 3-4 years before we even see anything about it.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it's just let you guys know. And yeah, really cool story. Very interesting take on a cartoon from the 80s and the early 2000s.
Because what Paramount has them, don't they? I believe so.
Yeah, because they were owned by Nickelodeon. Yep.
Hmm. So
They
that
even
would
have the
be
2002 reboot that we grew up watching on
yeah.
there.
So yeah, Paramount having it. Not Paramount don't usually take a leap in the gaming world too often either.
No, they don't.
But like I said, you could say they have SpongeBob titles, but Paramount don't have their hand in SpongeBob titles.
No. That's definitely on. Usually THQ and Nickelodeon Games has that.
You think that's what they'll use for that one then, or no? Since
THQ and Nickelodeon Games or Nick Games.
I mean, that's technically who owns it, but I mean, I know graphic novels technically a little bit different than what you would see on Nickelodeon, but at the same time, if Paramount has their hand in it, it would make sense for them to toss it out to THQ if it's in development, because there wasn't really a development team said it was working on it, from what I
No,
said.
I didn't see a specific development team, but I don't think THQ will, just because there's been a lot of games developed that I've played by THQ, and I've never seen one that I can recall that's above E. So I don't know if they have it in them to make a T or M rated game.
I mean, really, to get into that category, anyways. Like I said, it's more than likely going to be a hack and slash. I'm already going to put money on that one. That's a guarantee. I want to say it's a hack and slash title.
Yeah, not your typical Ninja Turtle hack and slash like a 2D. I'd think it's going to be more 3D based, but yeah, probably hack and slash.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3D hack and slash. It's going to, relate to God of War Bayonetta.
Now, what would really be cool is if, and they could do this, if it was an open world, you're going through New York, hack and slash type, kind of like Spider-Man. You go through New York, swinging around,
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool too.
Yeah, and I could see him doing that. But also, I haven't read the novel, so I don't know how that plays out. But that would be cool to me, is a 3D open world hack and slash type game it's more of an adventure game, but also a hack and slash, because that's your typical Ninja Turtle game, is a hack and slash.
I know one thing they should do. They could technically stray away from the graphic novel too, and they can do 4 alternate endings to where you get all 4 turtles, one turtle to stay alive. Like your choices depend on what turtle lives at the end, or what
That's an interesting take. Yeah, that'd be cool. You won't know which turtle has survived, but basically what you do in the game would determine which one did survive.
Because it'd be like one of those things like, okay, I read the novel, I know which turtle's going to make it, and then they could easily be like, oh no, your choices made you this turtle instead.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Put me on development team.
That's right. But that is all the time we have. Thanks for listening, and make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, join our Discord, follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, buy our merch, and I will be streaming after this episode. I'll be streaming Metroid Prime Remastered. I streamed it last night, and I'll be streaming again tonight. So if you're listening to us live on Twitch, just hop on over to my personal Twitch account, Armory987, and I'll be on there.
Yeah. Our merch is on Redbubble, by the way. I don't think we've said it in a while.
No, it's in the description, but yeah, it's Redbubble.
All right. I believe that is everything.
All right. Well, see you guys next week.
Later, guys.
See care in a new light at Madonna Rehabilitation Hospitals, where top medical minds lift you up, where the very best in specialized rehabilitation brings out your very best, where over 60 years of breakthroughs in research and technology spark your newfound strength. In our world-class hospitals, this is something greater than rehabilitation. It's renewed strength for life. Learn more at madonnarehab.org.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.